I often joke that men aren't going to ask a lot of questions, right? I'm super proud of you all being on here trying to get some tidbits and helpful hints on being a dad. I often marvel at women who tend to have I'm not be very general here, but tend to have a whole circle of people in the family, the moms, sisters, cousin, people they can call up and ask about mothering and parenting, and as men and fathers, we don't really do that. Like, I'm an expert on father, and I talk to my brother. He has two daughters also, and he don't ask me about being a dad, right? I just think as men, we just kind of figure it out, right? We figure it out and fake it till we make it, and trial and error. I think we do a lot of that. So again, I commend you all to come into a conference and say, hey, I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this thing a little bit better than what I've been doing, and maybe get some tidbits and hints and other different strategies. But we don't call up another man and say, hey, I'm having trouble potty training this boy or whatever. We don't do that as men. So we end up modeling a lot of our fathering, good, bad, or indifferent, from our own fathers. And so sometimes we pick up bad behaviors also. It's an exercise that I like to do, that I like to talk you through, particularly around if understanding that a lot of the ways you father is influenced by your earthly father. Okay? And so a lot of men haven't made that connection. So the first thing I want you to do is just think about how you father, how much of that is influenced by your relationship with your father or how you were fathered. Okay? And what I like to do is say, pick out some things that your father left you, and have you write those things down. What are some things your father left you in regards to discipline, with regards to affection, in regards to affirmation, whatever? It can just be 3 or 4 things, and I have you think about those things and maybe write them down. And some of those things could, they could be good or bad. Abandonment, abusive, whatever it was. And so we often, as I said, don't make the connection in some of the things we feel, some of the things we do, particularly as fathers, can be directly attributed to our own fathers, and we don't make that connection cognitively. And so what I try to, exercises that I do, I try to, and I want you to do it, think about 4, 5 things that your dad left you, good, bad, both, and then what are those things that you want to keep for your own child, and what are those things you want to throw away? We talk about generational curses, and we talk about a lot of things that are passed down. Well, fathering is a lot of times passed down, and so as you look at the histories of not histories, but the lived experiences of fathers, men talk about we either emulate or compensate. We either emulate our dads, or if we had bad experiences with our fathers or fatherlessness or whatever, we try to compensate sometimes and be a better dad. But until you make the connection and forgive your dad, because a lot of times we don't know what experiences he had as a child, and so what influenced him as a father. And so going back to this whole intergenerational transmission of fathering, that's why it's so important, because your fathering and what you do as a dad has intergenerational impact. Your children, your sons, are going to father like you. So you're going to impact your grandchildren through your fathering.